So welcome to the team call, beginning of May, and what a month April was as well. Like, I don't know whether any of you guys are caught up with the news for like the performance in April for kind of Beachbody as a whole, Beachbody in the UK as well. But Beachbody as a whole had, like, in any one time period, had never ever had so many people logged on at the same time to do their workouts. And in the UK, I'm not sure what it was for US and Canada, but certainly for the UK, it was an absolute record month by a country mile. And I'm sure you guys are all feeling that sentiment. For you guys who've been coaches for a little while, you should be getting more engagement, more interest, more people asking questions about your virtual gyms. And I certainly, I was just on a call with Charlotte before this, and I woke up this like, I work my business very kind of consistently. So the way that I work my business, because I'm 2 years down the track, I generally do kind of similar kind of things every day, right? I'm in a routine with it. And I would generally like wake up overnight and I probably have like 30 messages in my Instagram. I woke up this morning to 75 messages, and it is just an indication to me of the times, because nothing I've really done has changed. It just shows us the appetite for what we have to offer. And so I wanted to start the call with that. If you've kind of been, am I going to do this? Am I not? Am I all in, or am I on the fence? Like, now is the time to go for it. Like, there has never ever been a better time to see success with this business. And not only that, not just success, we have never been more needed, guys. And there's a huge appetite out there. People need us. They really genuinely, most people are not used to this environment. Most of us aren't. I'm more used to this environment because I've been working from home for a bit, and they don't know what to do. As some of you might be struggling with it too. And so our community, the community ethos of this new bod groups, the ability to work out at home, to pick from over 1,800 workouts, and to have a global community has never been more appealing. And so I just wanted to start with that call and say, look, if you have been on the fence with this, it's time to go all in, because it really is our time to shine, and it's our time to really support and help people, yes, with their physical fitness and their nutrition, but also with their mental health. And these communities provide that in the way that we interact. And I'm sure you are all on bod groups here. I hope you are. And if you've got any like particular feedback, do like send through to me afterwards. But certainly what I've been experiencing is that people are loving that new platform, the ability to kind of tick off your Shakeology and your workout and your nutritionals and even your water. And actually, Amy's not on the call today because she's got her boyfriend home from the army over this weekend. But she was telling me that, and I don't know whether you guys realize this already, but you can, even when you set up your challenge group, you can add a tab for checking in on your mindset each day. So you can just tick it off. So I just wanted to share that. April was a phenomenal month for this team. We had Charlotte hit Success Club, Amy hit Success Club, Donna hit Success Club. I hit Success Club in my husband's account, and I hit Success Club 25 in my own. So, that should be, this is why we're doing this call, to set May off the way that we mean to go on. And I wanted to talk about goal setting. And I know we've got kind of more seasoned coaches and newer coaches. And of course, the way that your goals are going to look is going to be very, very different. But, something for me that I do every month may not be that easy for you guys, right? Where do you start? What do you want to achieve? Is it realistic? All of these questions, I think, when we're certainly newer coaches, or we haven't really ever set up goals with our coach business, can seem so overwhelming that we can just slide straight into the month. And before we know it, we finish the month and we haven't set any objectives, or maybe we've set ourselves really loose objectives in terms of what we want to achieve. And because we've set loose objectives and we've not shared them as accountability, they don't come to fruition. And I know with a lot of the, professional development that I've done and personal development, time and time again, it is shared that a goal is far more likely to be achieved if it is shared, and it is shared in an accountability group. So please, after this call, if you haven't shared, share your goal in that visual that I've posted in the team page. That is there to help you. It is not there to be, any form of judgment. each one of you is going to have a completely different goal, and that's completely cool. But that environment is to really support you with that goal and to hold you to account on it in an uplifting, positive way. And I'd like everybody to do that. So I wanted to talk about, how do we set these goals? So really think about where you are in your coach business. You might have enrolled a week ago, you might just be brand new. And so your goals are going to look very different. But think about your month in April and how it was. And did you, if you started and you've been a coach for a little bit longer, what goal did you set yourself in April and what happened? And did you achieve it? Some of you might not have set a goal in April, but if you did you achieve it? And if you achieved it and exceeded it, what do you think, looking at what you did in terms of actions, saw you achieve that goal? And if you fell short, sit down tonight, today, as your goal for the day, not tomorrow, because it won't happen tomorrow and it's a new week tomorrow. What didn't you do and why didn't you achieve that goal? Not in a like, oh, I'm so awful kind of way. Like, what can I improve on? What can I learn here? What worked and what didn't? And really then think about, okay, that was my goal. I achieved it or I didn't. What am I going to set for this month? Okay. Is it a financial goal for you? Do you want to be earning a certain amount of money? I know for a lot of us, it's that, but it's also, seeing that success is what's going to give us that confidence to then move forward with a financial goal that we want to set for ourselves. So, Success Club, for those of you guys who are new, you hopefully know what it is now. You've watched the Getting Started Right call, but that's helping 3 people get started every single month with a challenge pack, coach or customer. And I strongly stand by the fact that particularly at the moment, that should be easily achieved if you are executing your business by the business activity tracker. If you're a newer coach, don't worry too much if you're not sure what the business activity tracker is or you haven't implemented it yet. That's going to come with time, but that is your success tracker. And really, the reason why we want you to achieve Success Club, guys, is because that essentially pays for your superfood. So I want you to think about what you want this business to earn you. Do you want it just to pay for your superfood? I know for me, when I was a newer coach, I consistently the first few months hit Success Club, and that kind of set me up to set bigger goals because it gave me confidence. You really need to just think about what you want that goal to be, what you feel is realistic, and you want to set that goal that isn't you letting yourself off the hook. And what I mean by that is, if you're setting yourself a goal and you're like, yeah, that will be really easy, I can do that, it's not high enough. You need to set yourself a goal that is achievable but slightly scary. Okay. And that's what I do for myself every single month. I set myself that goal. So I always set myself Success Club 30, and helping to develop leaders. And that goal always slightly scares me. It makes me feel slightly sick, but it's always a goal that I push for. And for the most part, I finish there or just shy of it. And I know it's a push goal. So then what you need to really think about is, okay, whatever that goal is, and I think it does need to be a measurable goal. So hence why Success Club is really, really important, because if you don't have measurable goals and you're just going to say, I'm just going to work on myself and I'm going to try and help a few people, that's not going to be motivating and it's not going to be measurable, and it won't be achievable because you haven't held yourself to a physical goal. So think about what you need to do. So to achieve Success Club, for example, it is going to be so important. And this is something that I see more and more, and I see it in my own business, but I see it in my coaches' businesses that see success. They set themselves a challenge group, okay? No matter who you are, that should be a non-negotiable for every single one of you. Set yourself up a new challenge group, okay? Decide when you want that challenge group to start. And for goodness sake, give yourself that lead-in time to start talking about it. And I know certainly as a newer coach, that was something I never did. And I'll be honest, I didn't really get into a marketing calendar until about a year ago. But that has completely changed my business, because I know, say I want to have my virtual gym starting on the 15th of, if it's going to start on the 15th of May, I am going to be talking about that virtual gym for 2 weeks beforehand. And this was something that the Elite Top 10 coaches shared in the Beachbody Champions page last week when they were talking about how are you going to see success? How are you going to hit Success Club? And they said, you have to talk about it for 2 weeks solid. And I always felt, that's a long time to be talking about it in my stories. Is it going to seem really salesy? But actually, a lot of people need to see that time and time again before they're like, do you know what? I've seen this so many times. I'm just going to have to do this. That's how marketing works. Okay. So set yourself a date, set it now, and start to work out, you know, what are those visuals going to look like? And if you're not confident enough yet to run one on your own, reach out to another coach and say, hey, you know, it's May. Do you want to do a virtual gym together? Okay, cool. And set it into action, because I can promise you what happens is, number one, you're clear on when it's starting. Your inviting becomes so much more natural and so much more confident, because you actually know what you're inviting people into, when it's going to start, what you're going to do, and you're going to get excited about it. And you know, the other thing that's going to be crucial in achieving these goals is doing a program that you enjoy. Okay. That sits at the very core of our business, and that should be a goal for you for the month of May. Okay. Achieving phenomenal results with whichever program you are following, because without that, physical, mental, people seeing that change in you and you sharing that journey, you can't set those goals, because people don't believe and trust in what you're doing unless they can see what you're doing. It's not going to add up. So make sure today you ask yourself, am I enjoying my program? Am I getting the results that I had hoped for? And if you're not, be honest with yourself and say, do you know what? I'm doing this program and I'm not loving it, and I'm not getting the results. And maybe loads of other people are loving it, but I'm not loving it myself. Because I've been there. I think every single coach on this call who has been a coach for some time will have had a program that they've not connected with. And it's no use kind of following it because maybe someone else is loving it. And that's what I wanted to share. That becomes so much easier when you're trying to set yourself those goals and achieve them, when you're really confident with what you have to offer, and you're really confident with the program that you're following. You've got the results yourself, you've had the enjoyment, and you're feeling the benefits. And certainly when I've been calling people to action for my virtual gym this month, something has changed massively. I have people almost banging down my door to do my virtual gym. And there are a few things that I've done differently. Number one, I have loved 10 rounds. I love it more than any other program. Like, I even was in the morning meltdown test group and I love it. I've loved it. I enjoy every workout. It doesn't feel like working out. I've shared it every day. I've gone in, I've done my workout. I've shared how I'm feeling. Okay. And people are feeling that energy and they just want some of it. Okay. But not only that, I'm really confident with it. I'm like, I know you're going to love this. Like, it's so much fun. I have a lot of girls who've done 10 rounds and they've loved it too. So I'm really confident, not only in my own enjoyment for it and the results, but for other people, because I have seen that through my virtual gym. So if you're a newer coach, you know, and you've started a program and maybe it's like a little bit, you know, it's feeling a bit taxing every day or whatever, just change. Okay. Because what you need to do first and foremost is get your own results in order to hit those goals. Joey. Picking the right program is so key. I started 80-day obsession and stopped that to morning meltdown 100, but I'm back to 80-day. I should have stuck to 80-day. I absolutely loved it and seeing massive results. Yeah. So, you know, like, I'm sharing what I'm loving, but don't, just because I love 10 rounds, it doesn't mean you're going to love it. Like Donna, for example, it's her birthday today. She's not on today, but she loves the work. She absolutely loves the work. It's her program. I honestly did a couple of the samples and was like, I just don't like this. It's too boring. It's just not me. So connect with your program and don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Okay, get excited about your challenge group, start to talk about it. And I want you to ask yourself, if you didn't achieve your goals, did you talk about your virtual gym, you know, for 2 weeks solid? Did you set yourself a date that virtual gym was going to start? And did you prepare for that? Or did you slide in sideways, fly by the seat of your pants? And I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I've certainly done this myself. And just suddenly you're like, oh my God, my challenge group's starting tomorrow. And I haven't really spoken about it in my stories, because guys, if that's you trying to hit Success Club on that strategy, it ain't going to work. And I'd just rather be completely brutally honest, because I've been that girl who's been super frustrated. I've sort of flustered and floundered my way into a challenge group and then not got anybody in there and just felt demoralized and not enjoyed it. So if you haven't got a marketing calendar, I've done calls on this. You guys are probably bored of me sharing this, but this is a marketing calendar that I got from Amazon, and it's called an 18-month promotional calendar. And it has like the day, even like Women's Day, like every single day, but I put in when I'm going to start calling to action, i.e. when I'm going to start talking about it. So as I said, like, if my challenge group starts on the 15th of May, I'm going to give myself 2 weeks to talk about it. The other thing that I wanted to share is, in setting your goal, because I think this is so helpful for those of you guys who want to get coaches into your business, but perhaps you're not confident enough to do your own sneak peek yet. And that's totally cool. Like, I started coaching and I probably didn't do my own sneak peek for about 4 months. My sneak peek is going to be hosted on the 14th of May. Okay. So if you want to start inviting people or talking to people, it's going to obviously give you more confidence if you can say, my coach is hosting her sneak peek into coaching on the 14th of May. And you can start inviting guys, because again, knowing that I've got that group hopefully is going to give you confidence when you're inviting. And then with this goal setting, the other thing that you've got to think about is, okay, that's cool. You've got really excited about the challenge group and you've got the date set up. And I think this is something that, again, like a lot of us can do when we're newer, right? We're a bit frightened. We're like, I'm showing up in my workouts. I'm doing my personal development. I'm feeling great. I'm sharing it on my stories. I've done my post. Okay. And this reminds me of it. It was I think Joey was there actually. It was a super weekend back in, gosh, it must have been summer last year probably. And there was a coach from the US who'd been a coach for like 10 years. I can't remember his name, but he said something that has never, ever left me. And he said, I don't want to hear it when coaches say they're working their business and they're like, hey, I've done my workout, I've done my personal development, I've done my post and I've posted my stories. And he's like, okay, cool. When did you work your business? I love that. And like literally the penny hit the floor. If you are just doing you and then you're sharing what you're doing, but you're not sending any invites, guess what, guys? You're never going to hit those goals. Okay. So I want you to call yourself out. Are you terrified of inviting? Have you been doing everything and then not inviting and not following up? You know, and this is relevant whether you're brand new or not, because the quicker that you can get yourself into that process of that just happens every day, hence the business activity tracker, it is on there, it is a vital behavior for a reason. Inviting is an absolute non-negotiable. It should be as non-negotiable as your workout every day, because without that, you don't have a business. You can't expect to help anybody. And I want you to think about, okay, what's my inviting process going to look like for setting these goals? Because that is really linked to achieving your goals. You know, am I comfortable with this invite I've been sending? Do I connect with it? Does it feel good? Do I really like it? And I want you to just today, when you set those goals, dissect your invite. Has it been working well for you, or does it need tweaking? And I'm just going to share, I sent this in the Hustle and Heart thread, but something that has been working really well for me. And again, like, you kind of have to just find your way sometimes with these invites. Hold on. So I'll say like, hey Charlotte, I wanted to drop you a message because my May virtual gym is in prep week this week. Okay, so I always run a prep week, guys, and I run a prep week so that it gives me more time to get more girls in, because they see the prep week, they get FOMO, I share a little bit of my group in my stories, and they want to get in too, and then I've got a hard start. So I give myself an additional week. So I'm calling to action for 2 weeks, and my prep week is a week before that. So 2 weeks, at the 1 week period, that's when my prep week starts. So it all makes sense. Yeah. And that is so important. Does your invite make sense with what people are seeing in your stories? Because if you're inviting them to something and they can see no proof that you are working out, no proof that you're part of a global community, they're just going to be like, they won't reply because they're not going to get it. So my invite, and I'm going to share this in the team page afterwards. Charlotte, I actually wanted to drop you a message because my May virtual gym is in prep week this week and we start on Monday. If I got you some more details, would you like to learn more? And I know you guys who've been coaches for a little while will know that's the way that I always invite, and there's a kind of strategy behind that. So if I do X, would you do Y is a phenomenal way to get a response from someone. So that's the way my invites are always tailored in some respect. So if I got you some more details, would you like to learn more? We're having a lot of fun whilst getting in amazing shape. And I'm so excited to do this boxing and strength training program again with abundant healthy eating and some mindset tips too. So I wanted to extend the invite. No worries if not, I just wanted to ask, Izzy. And that invite has been getting a huge amount of traction. But I think the reason why it's getting traction is, can you see that it's specific? It's very specific to what I'm offering in my virtual gym. It is linked up to what they're seeing in the visuals, and it's linked up to what they're seeing in my posts. Like, they've seen me doing this program. And so I want you to think about, if you're a newer coach, you're not going to be able to sort of draw conclusion on previous months, right? But you can set the tone for how you're going to set up your virtual gym. and how those invites are going to look. But I want you to ask yourself, does your invite connect with what you've been posting? Because that is really so, so crucial. We can set these goals till we're blue in the face, but if we haven't got this invite process, you know, nailed and we're not confident with it, it's going to be tricky. And I'll say, like, to start with, when you start inviting people into the opportunity, whether it's into coaching or whether it's to get fit with you, you don't feel confident. And I just want to say that, like, you are a bit like a baby giraffe trying to find its feet. We all are. And I've been there. And my invites, I look back at some of them when I'm still having conversations with people. God forbid, I don't even know why they're still talking to me. But I look at the invite I sent to them initially when I was a new coach, and I literally cringe. I cringe. Okay. So just know that you are going to have to take messy, ugly action until you find what works for you. But that process is going to be so key. So in this goal setting, I want you to set yourself a solid, non-negotiable invite number every single day that you know you are going to stick to, and you're going to hold yourself to account. Because I think sometimes we can be so readily caught up in this whole beautiful journey, and we think we're coaching and we think we're trying to get people on board, and then we're not doing the invites, or we're doing the invites and we're not being consistent. And I was that girl too, right? You know, I was the girl that invited once a week. Did it serve me? Well, I've hit Success Club, but it didn't really serve me that well. So set yourself a number each day. And I know, oh goodness, I've forgotten her name, Kate Schultz. She's like top 10, elite top 10. She sets herself an invite number every day, 60. Has to be done every day, 60 invites. So set yourself an invite goal. For those of you guys who are a little bit more experienced and you do your connections every day, think about how many people you need to follow to get them to follow you back, to get more engagement, to produce that number of invites. For newer coaches, I honestly would set probably about 10 invites a day. That should be completely doable. And set yourself a timer, okay? Once you've got that draft invite set up, set yourself a timer and get that list of people that you're going to invite. So the way that I invite is that I write a list of names the day before. So the people who have followed me, I have sent them an initial message and I said, hey, how are you doing? Thank you so much for following me. I really appreciate it. I love your page, or something on their page. Or like, are you on a fitness journey too? Or how long have you been on your fitness journey? And those Instagram handle names go onto an A4 sheet of paper with the date on them. And I know this is what Kate Schultz does as well, and it works really well. The next day, they're my people I invite. Whether or not they've replied, if they've seen the message, I will go and like their picture. And a lot of the time they do reply, particularly at the moment, because people are like, they are on social media. You're going to get quick replies. I send them that invite, okay? And often at the moment, I'm getting a reply, yeah, like, tell me more. Okay, great. So I just want to break down what I'm doing and what's working for me at the moment in your goal setting. Because of course, if you've got a strategy that's going to work well, then you're more likely to convert more and you're more likely to hit your goal. So I'm actually sending voice clips, and Charlotte actually shared this on her leadership live on Thursday. Charlotte's been 6 weeks coach. She hit Success Club last month. And she is doing exactly what I do, quite naturally, actually. So she's sending voice clips. Marty, hold on, what's this? I think I verbally vomit after they say yes, I'd like it. What do you do? So this is something I did for quite a long time. I would send a written text. This is what it entails, and it literally, like, you'd look at the pod and it would be like their message and your text, okay? And this word vomit thing is something you really need to call yourself out on immediately if it's what you're doing. Because what we should be doing as coaches is gleaning information from them and then giving them that information. It should kind of be a two-way conversation. And I think the voice clip just looks so much better than a massive bulk of text. Okay, if we're going to send a massive bulk of text, we haven't really connected with them because it's just text. They can't hear our voice. And it's just a massive bulk of text, and it's really just another message from another network marketer, quite frankly. If you're not confident with your voice clip yet, go for it. Send the text. I did that for a while. My conversion wasn't as high until I developed that confidence to do it. But I will say, the quicker you start to voice clip people, yeah, you're going to be like a baby giraffe. It's going to be ugly for a bit, but the quicker you're going to find that confidence. So I'm just going to share exactly what I do, exactly what I say, because it has been working really well. So I send basically 3 voice clips. It's about 3 minutes. I say, thanks so much for asking for more info. It's so much easier for me to voice clip, so I hope you don't mind. there are three elements. There's fitness, nutrition, and community. So first of all, the fitness, you get the most phenomenal login to what can only be described as the Netflix of workouts. There are over 60 master trainer device programs and over 1,800 workouts. And we're just going to be following one of those 60 programs. The boxing and strength training program is 5 days a week. You get 2 rest days, and it's 1 day of boxing technique followed by 1 day of strength training for 6 weeks. And the idea is that you just log into that platform whenever suits you in your day and you get that workout done. And because they're progressive programs, you get the most phenomenal results. And then in the post, you get the most phenomenal nutrition guide, which helps support you and your goals for whichever program you decide to do, whether or not you want to lose weight or tone up, or it's just for your mindset. And it's all about abundant, healthy eating. It is not about cutting out food groups, and it is not a diet. And that's something, and I always relate it back to me, it's something that I really love because that was a struggle of mine, and it cracked those eating issues that I'd had for 10 years. So I'm really passionate about sharing it. You also get the most amazing workout calendar that you can pin onto the wall, tick it off as you go, and it's super motivational, as well as the resistance bands for the program. And the final thing, which is the absolute game changer, it was a game changer for me, and it certainly is for my girls, is a 30-day supply of superfood. And this is a completely natural whole product. It does not have any artificial things in it. And it is not a meal replacement. There are over 40 different superfoods sourced from around the globe. And essentially what happens is that a lot of the time at the moment, particularly with lockdown, we're craving sugar, and we crave sugar because we're lacking those micronutrients, and then we feel lackluster and we have no energy. And if we're trying to commit to a fitness program, we can't commit to it. And it really was a game changer for me because I had a sugar addiction and I have so much more energy, and it really ensures that we get the most amazing results with these programs. So do you see how I'm linking it to me? Because they want to see, like, how did it work for you? And then I like, usually that's in kind of 2 minutes. And then I say, and the final piece, which is my most favorite thing of all, is that I lead and run these global communities where we all check in and connect. We're from all walks of life, from the UK, US, and Canada. And we all connect in this most incredible accountability group that you can engage in as much or as little as you want. But that was the game changer for me because it meant that I had to be accountable in a really positive, uplifting way. We share fitness tips, nutrition, as well as mindset tips, as well as running competitions. And then I'll send a final voice clip and say, so for all of that, the entire year-round access to that platform, access to me as your coach and mentor, and everything I've described in my voice clips, it is a one-time cost of $160. And then I'll say, my virtual gym starts tomorrow. As you know, I'm in prep week. I literally have, well, I do have 1 spot left. So if you want to join me, let me know. Okay. And that, I know it sounds long, but it is so much more detailed than sending out text, but it is less word vomity because it's just me describing what it is. And a lot of the time people are saying, do you know what? I really want to join you. Sign me up. Or I really want to join you next month. I can't afford it this month. And that's been a game changer. And yeah, like you're probably thinking, how am I ever going to get all of that detail down? You know, that's really tricky. But I think if you just even practice doing a video of yourself even, or just voice clipping yourself and doing that, you are going to build that confidence and people are going to hear that passion. Yeah. So, you know, newer coaches, that's going to be a bit more of a struggle, right? Because you haven't seen the results yet yourself. And that's what this is all about. It's kind of enjoying your journey first. So your goal for the month might just be getting amazing results with my program, finishing my training, doing personal development, and ideally helping 3 girls. So that is so much part of that goal setting process, because if your invite isn't hitting the right notes, you're not going to hit those goals. So I just wanted to make a huge part of this call about goal setting, about really just thinking about what worked last month or what goal do you want to achieve this month that really slightly scares you, and how you're going to hold yourself to account, as well as working out what daily tasks you need to be doing to achieve that goal, but also ensuring, guys, that you've planned that boot camp. And I'll tell you, like, as soon as you take ownership of your own boot camp, you will start to fly. And I see it time and time again. Every single coach that comes into the business who sets their own boot camp that they're excited about and they own it, they always hit Success Club. It's just the simple equation for success. If you do your program, you set a challenge group, you take responsibility, you get results, and you invite, you will achieve those goals. So if you haven't got a marketing calendar, please like order one, because I can promise you the sooner that you can start being organized with that, the sooner you're going to take this more seriously. And this doesn't need to take a lot of time, guys. Just look at your calendar, go, okay, cool. I'll call to action 2 weeks from then, and I need to get the visuals done by then. And it doesn't need to take you a lot of time, but you will start to feel excited and confident about what you're inviting people into. And remember, like, you know, some of you guys are, you know, absolutely loving this, you're getting phenomenal results. And if we don't share that and we don't set those invite goals for the day, we can't ever possibly help those people that don't even know they need it in their life, you know. And I think about how many people have said to me, thank you so much for changing my life. And it literally like brings tears into my eyes sometimes, some of the stories that I get from coaches and customers, like from the heart. And we can't possibly do that if we don't get out of our own way and start really executing those invites. But we have the most phenomenal opportunity. Like, this business right now is absolutely flying. So go for it. And if you've got those mindset blocks, make sure that in your goal list, you are committing to doing that personal development that's going to get you to that place where you feel more confident to do those invites. And yeah, as I said, you're not going to feel confident to start with, but this business won't work unless you invite people into it. We can't help change lives. Has anyone got any questions? And I think that's the thing, like sometimes, and I was on a call with a coach the other day, and they said to me, oh yeah, like I invite people and they say they want more info, and then I kind of freeze up because I'm like, oh, how do I tell them? Yeah. And that's growth. There's growth that's needed there, but unless you continue to do that, you won't grow through it. So yeah, like to recap, just sit down tonight, set your goal, slightly scary, achievable goal, okay? Hold yourself to it. What's your invite goal for every single day that you're not going to let yourself off the hook on? And do you enjoy and love your program, and are you executing it? And then set your challenge group date and start thinking about when you're going to start calling to action, and own it, get excited about it. Has anyone got any questions? Oh, I'm so glad it was helpful. And the other thing, actually, I meant to say, this is something that's really changing the game for me. I am really being much more open and honest about the superfood. And it's something like, maybe it's my own mindset block, but I am like definitively describing exactly what the superfood is in the invite process. And I can tell you, there isn't really anybody now coming into my business that doesn't continue having it, because I've explained it so that people understand the importance of it and the benefit of it. And I think you've got to get behind that. Like, yeah, maybe you can't have the Shakeology. I know we have some people having Energize and Recover, but that for me is really changing the game in my virtual gyms as well. I know, like, there's been such a delay for you new coaches in Canada and the States. Now I know it's to do with like coronavirus, and it's super frustrating because it's like obviously quite a lot of your results. So you can only do what you can do, right? Control the controllable. And when you get it, you're going to be even more excited, and I can give you even more recipes. But I really am getting behind that superfood now, and I'm unashamedly sharing it in my invite process. Whereas I think before, and maybe some of you coaches will resonate with this, you're worried that it's going to put people off because they're going to be like, it's some protein shake. I don't need that. It's a crock of, you know, SHIT. But I genuinely believe in it. And that is, people are really looking for nutrition tips. And I think sometimes we're a bit too scared to share that side of it. If anyone resonates with that, great, because that was me. And that's really like, people are then like, they're getting the superfood and they can't wait to have it. And that's really like, a lot of us are having a superfood all the time, right? And we love it. So unashamedly just share that passion for it when you're doing those voice clips. But I hope that's been useful. I really wanted to provide a call that helped you set goals in a way that was really strategic, that means that hopefully you're going to come out of this call and you're going to know exactly, right, Success Club goal. When's my challenge group starting? I'm going to get my visuals done. This is how my invite is going to look. Do I connect with it? Does it need redoing? And this is how I'm going to invite them. And this is how I'm going to follow up. Yeah. Because we've got some absolutely phenomenal talent in this team, and there is no reason why you can't be that person. But you have to execute it with a plan, and you need to do that now, because otherwise you're going to roll into June and you won't have hit Success Club. Sorry, there was a question there. Could I ask which video editing software people use? Video editing, I just do it on my iPhone. Is that what you mean? I just like clip. If I do workout clips, I just shorten it. You click edit video, and then I just shorten it and save. And then the app that I often use is Unfold. Unfold is really good for putting the videos into a little template and writing the text, which makes it look quite pretty. Oh yeah, and Story Art, Imogen, thanks for that one. But like, get excited. You know, if you can put your own branding on stuff, great. Like, that's going to get you excited. You're going to want to invite people into that because you're going to be like, my virtual gym looks amazing and I'm excited. And I really hope that the new bod groups thing, and I'm seeing that with a lot of you guys, you're really excited about it because you're like, oh, it's so easy to set up a challenge group. I just do this, click that. Oh, I've got my challenge group set up. Boom. I can confidently invite. Yeah. And the other thing, final thing, make sure you post every day. I see some of you guys post every 3 days. It is not consistent enough. I'm going to be brutally honest. Like, from day one, I have posted every single day, like every single day. And I've been through some pretty bad stuff. So that was my commitment to my business. If I want to have a business that is going to be smashing through, helping a lot of people and really providing that future for my family, which is what it is for me, then I need to be accountable to showing up for these people who are watching me. Okay, so call yourself out on that. Posts, an actual post every single day without fail. Sometimes I do too, and I've done that since the 18th of March 2018. I think there were 2 days when I got blocked when I couldn't post. But that, guys, like, people will often say to me, thank you so much for being so consistent. That's what they need to build trust. Every single day you post, you're building a little bit more trust with those people. The more they see your face, the more they want you in their life. And getting in front of the camera is not vain. People build connection through a facial picture. So that's why my face is always in my posts. It feels vain to start with if you're a newer coach. It certainly did for me, but now it's just my face every day. Right. Has anyone got any other questions? No. And if you have afterwards and you're like, that's a plan, I've got a lot to do, just message me. I'm happy to help. And I'm excited. Yeah, of course I'll post it on the team page. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully it's been helpful and you can take notes as well, I hope. Okay. Let's do a boomerang. I know we're going to nail this month, guys, with new bod groups. I'm like, this team is lighting things up. It's amazing. Okay. Just going to do down my light ring. It's just a bit bright. And I need to clean my phone. Right. Okay. Anu. Oh, well done, Anu. Thank you. So I'm going to stop recording. We don't need